The most common mistake that I've seen with creative operations goes back to having a lack of clarity about what you want to achieve with content strategy and not having gone into enough detail to actually define that very clearly. And that's a common thing that I find from a lot of the people that I work with.
The most common mistake we see people make in creative operations is a quite simple one, which is just not involving creative operations early enough in the process.
The most common mistake in creative operations is too many cooks. It's important to have one lead person to look after the whole project rather than the kind of elongated hierarchy. But keep all of the teams involved all the time, all the stakeholders, but have one person focus on delivering the solution.
The most common mistake I see people make in creative operations is buying into a tool before identifying their process. If I could give every organization one piece of advice, it's identify your process before you buy your tool, because people and process should identify your tool and not the other way around. At the end of the day, the tool isn't useful if your organization isn't ready to use it.
The most common mistake I see people making in creative operations is not recognizing the department as its own entity. And having people that should be focusing on strategy or sales actually dealing with creative operations and delivery, which is counterintuitive because their focus is elsewhere in the business. So actually identifying that creative operations is its own entity and treating it as such.